Oh my god. You can see that candy cane taking form. Right, we are back. I have never run to my craft table so fast in all of my videos for this one. So I saw a video on a different platform and it blew me away. And it was actually, look, I haven't even tidied up from yesterday's experiment. I've still got melted crayon everywhere. So this technique was actually for biscuit decoration or cookie decorating with, what's it called? Icing sugar, decorating icing, whatever you want to call it. And they drew in a candy cane. And it looks so easy. And my brain is thinking, well, we can do that with resin. But I've never tried it, so I've got an old piece here I'm going to experiment on first and just see if I can get the technique to work in some way. But I'm going to try it with UV resin first. I might try it with epoxy afterwards. We're going to just see how it works. I'm so excited for this one. I really hope it works. So I'm just going to pour in. I'm really in a kind of a rush because I really want this to work. So I'm just going to pour in some UV resin into these mixing cups. I've got some red and white mica powder. So I'm just going to tip in some of my red, mix that up, and then the same with my white. I think this will probably be best with epoxy, but I want to try it with UV first. And I put way too much mica powder in. I need to slow down and take it easy and take it steady. I think if this can work, we've got something new here. And I hate to say it, but I think this could be a game changer, especially for this time of year. Oh, I hate saying that word. Too many people use it for the wrong reasons. It's so annoying. Okay, so this is the back of a piece. So I have like a lip. I never finished it off. So it should hold everything in place. So if this works, I'm going to call it a Christmas game changer. So I'm just going to fill up that back and just cover it. Cover it fully. As always, massive shout out to my channel members, anyone who's bought me a coffee or a super thanks, and to any new subs. I might have to layer this, I don't know, but I'm going to cover the back. I think I can get away with that. So you don't want to cure this, you want to keep this wet. Now with my white mica powder, I'm going to use the end of a paintbrush and just apply 5 dots. And you'll see why. I really hope this works. And then we want one, it's kind of like the handle. Like so. Now, I'm just hoping the viscosity of this works. I'm just going to take my dotting tool, go round the outside of the dots that we've just put in. And we're going to go around twice, I think. Oh, it's working! Oh my god. You can see that candy cane taking form. Right, quick, let's cure it. I don't hold up much hope for the curing stage, but it was just to see if I could get the actual design itself. Look at that. That is definitely a game changer. Can you hear the excitement in my voice? So this is another great idea if you've got some really pants pieces lying around in your drawers that, I say pants, I mean rubbish, you know, they're just ugly. You could just top coat it with the red and then just do the dot work, and then there you have it. Christmas decorations, jewelry, whatever you want to make with it, but you can repurpose your old pieces just by doing that, and that just needs like a dome in now, really. I'll do that quick. Again, the back of this wasn't finished perfectly. There's sharp edges I'm going to have to sand down afterwards, but I'm just applying some UV resin and then just using my stick, taking that right to the edge. And what I'm going to try next is in my usual cabochon mold, where we're kind of working from the back, and I wonder if I could get like a 3D candy cane I don't know. It all depends on the I'm going to have to get the balance right of the mica powder so that it doesn't sink too far. I can't believe I've used the words game changer on my channel. I promised myself I would never do that. But it's so cool. And there you have it. I wasn't expecting the perfect finish, like I said, but that is incredible. Okay, so how is it going to work? I'm trying to pour my resin out with the lid on. I'm in such an excited state of mind. How is it going to work in reverse? Do I just do white dots or red dots and then a white or red background, if that makes sense? Or do I do white and red dots together and then do a different color background? I mean, this is all stuff that we need to play with, but I really don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just concentrating on getting the bubbles out at the moment. I think I'm going to have to go with white and red. If I want some sort of 3D effect, I'm just hoping this mic is not too heavy and that it doesn't sink, because that would be a disaster. So I'm going to space it out, I think. That will do. And then go in the gaps with the red. It needs to be quick because we've seen before how resin can pull inwards and change pretty quickly. That one at the top needs to be a little bit bigger, doesn't it? Okay, let's quickly, I'm going to use my little pin, and I'm sorry if you can't see what I'm doing. I'm just going to go round again. It's gone a bit out of shape. I'm going the opposite direction this time. Whoops, does it matter? I'm going to quickly cure it. It's not perfect, but it's a start. I'm going to quickly try again off camera. I'm going to do the same, but I think I went round the wrong way. I think I need to go, I can't remember now, round the outside. It's looking better. It's just distorting a little bit. Let's cure that. It's looking better. Okay, let's see what we've got. I think if this doesn't work this way, I'm going to have to play around with it. But I think the safer alternative would be to part fill, cure, then do similar, exactly the same as what we did on the first piece. I'm just hoping we've got some kind of 3D. I'll tell you what, it's not far off, is it? I think a little bit of work. Maybe my needle's too... My needle that I'm drawing with is too wide, too thick. Maybe a small piece of wire would be better. But I tell you what, I think the first one is the better one. We do like a glitter background or something. That is pretty cool. And you've got the 3D twists there as well. Really unique. So let's just try that other way. Cure that first layer. Now I've realised I have a slight problem, because I need some resin to be able to do the design, otherwise it's just not going to work. So I'm going to have to, I think, go in with a very thin amount of clear on top of that. Just spread that around. Then I can add my white drops, and then we can do a red background. Is that spreading? That's spreading because the heat of the first layer hadn't cooled down. Lesson learned. So I'm going to mix that in so it's not really visible. And I'm going to cover this and wait for the first layer to cool down. Okay, has it cooled down enough? So the video that I mentioned was by a creator called Grace Gaylord. Now Grace did say in her video she's not the first to do it. So, but I don't know who was. So I'm just naming the person. It's still spreading. It's going to be a chunky one, this one. We'll just see what happens. I need to be a bit more patient, don't I, guys? But we'll see what happens. So let's take our needle and just spread that. It's not deep enough. It's not doing. Let's just keep going. It might work. Just keep going round and round and round. That'll do. Now I'm going to cure that. But like I said, I haven't seen this done with resin though. Now I'm hoping that if I top this up with the red, the white will still show through when we demold it. If not, it's something you're going to need to perfect. And it just goes to show you guys, you know, not just, I mean, we've brought some nail art across to this side because they're both very similar. But there's also lots of things that you can bring across, from cake decorating to cookie decorating. Right, let's see if that worked. If it hasn't, maybe try the red dots and then a white background maybe. I don't know. Just kind of going with the flow here. It's a bit chunky, it's a bit wide, but the effect is there. Again, I should have waited for that resin to cool down a bit. Like that. Now that is what I'm talking about. So I reversed it so it went the other way because for some reason, I don't know whether it's because I'm right-handed or the way my brain works, a candy cane to me should be facing this way. Let me know in the comments what you think, because is it just me, or does that direction look better than that direction? But if you're making a pair of matching earrings, I suppose you'd want them kind of flipped and reversed. That is incredible. Look at that. This one is almost there, but what you want to do is when you do your dots, this one here I did too high, so you want it to come down like a good distance so that it gives that really cool. See that one, I went down a bit further. It's much better. Right, so I've had a little play around and I even managed to get two in one piece. A couple of them blurred out a little bit when I introduced the UV light. So I think the key to doing this two in one go would be to kind of do one, cure it, then pour your clear over the other side and do the other one. I think where I did this one second, it didn't, the resin didn't pull in as much. So I think do one, cure it, then do the other. But they still turned out really, really cool. So what I think I'll do is if this video gets enough likes, comments and shares, I will bring you an epoxy version of this. And I think I could get a more 3D version of this. As always, give the video a thumbs up, drop me a comment. If you haven't subbed, it is free. Hit that button for me. Hope you enjoyed it. I will see you for the next one. Bye for now.